Have you always wanted to hear a story? You and your best friend at a coffee shop, just randomly talking about stuff. And then all of a sudden you see this beautiful girl walking over. You like her because she's cute and she's also reading a book you like from one of your favorite authors. Then she comes by you, you accidentally trip the book, you two go out on a date, and you guys go to like a bookstore grabbing all your favorite books and stuff. You're walking her home, only to find out that she's gonna eat you. Wait, hold on. This sounds too familiar. Oh yeah, that's right, Tokyo Ghoul. This sounds exactly the same way, doesn't it, everybody? Hey guys, what's up? Lucky Cheese 7 is here today to give you guys, you guessed it, a Tokyo Ghoul podcast, the first debut of the podcast on my channel. But I can't do this alone, so I got a very special friend with me today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. This is SPARDA3g, now on the podcast by Lucky Cheese, discussing about Tokyo Ghoul. Why? Because apparently the $1 million question has been told, or asked, actually. And wouldn't you know it, it's the most hyped thing of all time. So yeah, we're here to finally discuss that.
Yeah, we are. And a lot of creative things have happened with Tokyo Ghoul recently. I mean, even just like recently today, like for those of you who've seen Chibi's video, apparently a fan tried to tell Ishida that he shouldn't make Kaneki and Hide canon because he thinks Toka is a load of shit. And he even called him an old man, getting to a point where Ishida blocked him. And the guy's like, I can't believe Ishida Sensei blocked me. Well, thing is, you insulted him. And two, you were arguing with him about a pairing. Remember, this is his story at the end of the day. Don't force a guy to tell him, do it like this. And also, it's not a shonen. Let's be fair. Tokyo Ghoul is not a shonen. So for those of you that are thinking that, it's not. But my thoughts on it, honestly, like, people just kind of need to grow up. Because, again, like, stuff like this has happened before. It happened with Naruto. It happened with Bleach. And now, I mean, I don't know if I can say this is worse, but, like, what's your overall thought on it, Sparta?
Well, first of all, you shouldn't even go and talk to you shouldn't even go on to talk to Ishida about that whole situation, because first of all, chapter hasn't been released yet. Technically, you gotta remember, we are reading a leaked version. We are reading ahead of the official release. So he probably be thinking like, I don't know what you're talking about. In the end, he does, because he's most likely aware, since everybody always jump ahead and keep telling him what a great chapter. I can't believe Kaneki is the king. It's like, you know, that hasn't released. Why you know that? So in this case, you're kind of obviously giving the idea like, wait, you know that I'm about to, you know that the next chapter I stop at with this whole virginity talk, which is could be a massive pairing confirmation soon or later, whatever. Why you know that? So you shouldn't even talk about him until Thursday. Like, act like you're reading the official. And not only that, but the main point is you shouldn't really not to get the best of get your feeling best of you. Like I'm like there are there times that I'm upset with the decision? Yes, from any other mangaka, anyone else. But would I rant on him? Would I blackmail him? Would I threat the person? No, because it's just like, oh, that stinks. I mean, the funny thing is that it actually kind of connects with this latest chapter, but it was like a different story. It's not about pairing, but it's like, oh, you know, Ishida, that's cruel that you actually gave this person a birthday treatment, but that person is dead. How could you do that? But I said it in a joking way, which obviously I didn't get blocked, and I just laugh at it. I just laugh it out. But I'm not really upset. I'm just like having fun with him because he likes to have fun. But obviously, the way I'm hearing is a legit threat, or a legit, you know, like it's a legitimate feeling that the person just portrayed, that I feel like you shouldn't even get the best of you, and you shouldn't even go too much out of your way to just, you know, make yourself like not only like a fool, but like just trying to make him very uncomfortable. And the last thing a person needs to be is in an uncomfortable position. So when one person blocks you, it's because that person doesn't want to deal with that kind of situation. No one wants to deal with that, and I don't blame him. Now, you know, in your case, I guess the best thing you could do is just set things right on yourself. And I'm not sure he would ever unblock you, but just at least try to maintain control of your feelings.
Exactly. Like that's exactly how I felt too. Like when I read it, I was like, you know what? Like, I get it. Like pairings, they're fun, but it really shouldn't be something that like becomes like the central focus of like what you're reading. Like pairings are cool. When you read a story, it's not really for a parent. If it's a shoujo or whatever, then fine. I can get that. But if it's like a seinen, a shonen, like that shouldn't even be the focal point of the story. It should be about like what the overall story is about. That should be the big thing that you're talking about. And again, like when it comes to pairings itself, just don't let it like overwhelm you. Like if it happens, you're like, you know what? I'm upset it didn't go this direction, but I respect his decision, and that's obviously what this person should have done. So that's the only advice I can give to you there.
Pretty much. It's funny because this series has I would say, well, you know what? I would say it. The series has a straightforward pairing decision or choices that he can either end with or just don't do with anything. But hey, at least it looks good together, right? That's the way I see it. It's not like, okay, this one has like a love triangle, love square, whatever. It's not trying to complicate things. It's straightforward. It's letting you know that that could be the pairing, or they may end up being the pairing. But it's not like he's trying to. It's not like he's trying to make it so vocal point of the series, because it's not. And when people do it straightforward, it actually tends to be good, because it doesn't make the character look bad. It doesn't complicate things. And I more prefer for that approach, because all my favorite series is like that. It's not like, oh, look at this love triangle. I'm not saying love triangle is always going to be bad, but majority of they can be. And you have to be really careful when it comes to doing this whole love triangle thing. And with shonen, seinen, whatever, they're not positioned to do that.
No, they aren't. But getting past that, we have the latest chapter of Tokyo Ghoul, obviously, which caused a big talk and discussion amongst the fandom. I mean, everyone knows my little live reaction. Like when I read the chapter, I was like, "Wait, what the fuck is this shit?" Like I was in there for a good minute or two, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I can't believe she actually dropped the question. I can't believe this shit actually happened." I mean, the Amon and the Kira thing, I'm like, oh, like sure. Like it was basically, if you guys saw Pokemon X, Y, and Z when with Serena kissing Ash, it was kind of like that. I'm like, it's the same shit I see, but cool, I like it. And then you get to the end of the chapter. Before you get to the end, you have the whole thing with Muski, like looking at the photo. Now we don't see her like looking at it directly, like we don't see the image of it, but we do see her like, oh. So we don't get her immediate reaction, but we know what she's thinking. It's like, I gotta kill this bitch. And then immediately going to Toga, and then her and Kaneki are having the talk, and Kaneki like, so what did you want to talk about? Oh, yeah, are you a virgin? I'm like, it was just hilarious. I'm just gonna say that right now. But Sparta, share your thoughts on it.
On that specific question you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, it threw me off guard. It threw me off guard, because I guess I was just expecting, like, I don't know, like maybe, hell, actually, if it was supposed to go to a pairing route, I was just expecting like the more in line of the use of cliche words, but she's very straight to the point. Up to that, yeah, like, virginity. It's $1 million question, because it's funny how you could interpret it like, what is he going to say? Like, is he going to really say, yes, I am? Or is he going to say, no, because I've been fucked by life? I like that one. But seriously, like, that's one way to get to the point. Now, does it mean it's a troll from her? I don't know. Is this really the real deal? Perhaps, because the first impression could be a fool, or the first impression would lead to what you actually will think, and that is, I guess, a pairing. But who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
it all really depends. And I mean, I think what made it even more funny was the fact that Kaneki, like, he was holding his coffee, and then right as his question gets out, like, he's like dropping the thing. I'm like, it's funny because the first time I read it, I was like, kind of looks like a kid. Wait, no, that's coffee. Wait a minute. That's even better.
Yeah, it's funny because he did that twice now, with the whole coffee spill, or like coffee, like where coffee pours down to the ground. Like the first time was the whole Uta Uta was like, "Hey, Yomo, guess what? I talked to I met with Kaneki, and you should see Yomo missing the coffee cup and just."
Oh yeah, that's right. That did happen.
It's like, oh, you missed. So in this one, it's like he's like he was about to drink it, but he's like talking along. And he's like, what is that you want to talk about? Oh yeah, that I forgot about that. Are you a virgin? And then he's all smiling, but the cup is the only thing. That cup spill is obviously is pretty much clear what he's really thinking, what he really reacting. Oh, that was gold.
It was. But going past that, though, the chapter had a lot of interesting things going on too. Obviously, you have everything going on with Akira, and that's the biggest thing people are kind of fearing right now. Is like, where is she going to go as a character? Now, you had her and Amon talking too, but one of the big things I'm noticing is that people are speculating that maybe she could kick the bucket in like this upcoming arc.
Honestly, when you do parent confirmation early on, it's scary because you could either portray that as a way like, well, you got love, now you're about to die. And that's usually, I wouldn't say that's usually the case, but it does happen, and that's the scary approach. I mean, like, I kind of would argue maybe that would be safe for Nishiki, which I still don't hope that will happen, but you never know because it's still a big mystery what in the world Kimi is doing with the worst character of all time, Kanu. But with going back to Akira, it's really hard to say. It does give that flag, and I'm afraid of that. But I'm trying to be optimistic and say everything's just going to be okay.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it too. And I mean, you can kind of say the same thing for Yoriko and, oh my god, what's her fiance's name? I keep forgetting.
Yoriko and I start with a T. I always forget that. I always forget how you pronounce it. So I don't
he was the one that was talking with Mutsuki, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it is funny because like when it comes to marriage, when it comes to like planning a marriage, it's always a signified dead. It's like, oh, that's not gonna happen because you just said it. Now you're going to die.
Right.
Even that one crappy show even did that kind of. Even made fun of that. It's like, why are you telling me you're gonna marry me? You put in every lines that you have a death flag behind you, and I was like, that's actually pretty funny because it's true. But what's interesting was that I can't say he's safe. That guy that we're trying to say his name, I can't say he's safe for now because I guess I always assumed that it will be him that'll find Toka, and then it's like, oh, you're a ghoul, I'm gonna eliminate you, even though you're my fiance best friend. I had to eliminate you.
That's kind of how I felt too.
Yeah, it seems like the direction is really having him searching, but then Muski got a curiosity, and then here we are. Now she knows.
Yeah,
which is bad. Real bad.
I feel like the moment that Yoriko mentioned that she has a friend and that she hasn't seen her since the events with the Anteko radar, I was like, yeah, I feel like Ishida's hinting that he's gonna die, and when that happens, ooh, like if Yoriko finds out, like tension, tension's gonna rise.
And that's another thing. Like, it could go anywhere, but now we have Muski about to go there, I guess. I'm assuming, because that's the way how the chapter written, I'm assuming she's heading there now, or she's probably preparing with Aura and maybe a few other guys. Maybe probably ask a favor to bring all guys group, which that would be bad.
It would.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how this is gonna go, but it's definitely scary, but in an interesting way.
And the other thing that happened in the chapter is that you had Udi and Psychotog, and automatically, like, well, you had a couple other people too, but I remember like Udi and Psycho were like the main ones there, and they were like, okay, Fudata looks like it really didn't feel like that was Sasuke, so they're already coming to the conclusion that Fudata's playing some kind of weird shit with us. So
yeah, it's weird because like he leave it open in a way on purpose to say like, oh, look at that, I killed Sasuke. There's no way that's a fake. That's fake news. There's no way. Ha 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 ha. It felt like he opened up on purpose, but I don't have no idea why.
Yeah.
Like Kaneki is like, well, I could actually mess it up everything easily. I just have to figure out how. But I'm like, that's cool. But I feel like you're running into a somewhat a trap. I'm not sure.
That's how. Yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling too. I mean, it kind of gets me wondering, like, do you feel like Udi and Kaneki are gonna have like if Udi plays like a big part in this arc? Do you feel like him and Kaneki? Because I feel like they are gonna fight, but do you feel like it's gonna happen in like this upcoming arc?
I say yeah, because it's been hinted, whatever this relationship with Kaneki and him, it's been said like either he hates him or he really cares about him. And right now it's leaning towards he cares about him. Of course, he has grudges, and I don't. It's not because like, oh, you betrayed us, but it's more or like it's more like like what happened back in what chapter, like covered like 10 chapters ago, I think, with the
Yeah,
whole him out of control, basically in somewhat Kagaja mode, when he's like, telling Sasuke, like, you put me in this horrible position, you bastard, stuff like that. He was put it was true, because he did put him in a really tight spot, and back in Rose's investigation ending, he really put him like in the leadership. It's like everything happened too fast. It's like, damn, you really put too much pressure on him.
yeah,
So I
like
can see personal grudges more so than like, oh, and according to the rules, you betray us, I had to kill you, stuff like that.
hmm like, and that also kind of got me wondering. I'm like, so is Udi? Because I don't feel like when Kaneki and Udi have their fight, I don't think they're gonna go completely all out, especially like with Udi's case, because it's like, yeah, Kaneki is not on the CCG side anymore, but I don't feel like Udi's gonna go all the way up because of like not just because they work together and stuff, but because of like where Ri has been building up until this point. Because, like you said, Kaneki put Udi in a position to kind of just like overthink everything after the death of Shirazu. And I'm kind of wondering like if Kaneki did that on purpose, because since then, like, Udi's changed from like the bastard that he was like at the beginning, and you
Hmm.
see where he's at, and he's not that bad of a guy now. So kind of just gets you wondering, like, do you feel like Udi's gonna go all out, or do you think he's gonna restrain himself?
That's gonna be the interesting part. Maybe I'll say he would probably go out all out on him. Probably. Maybe he probably expect Kaneki to kill him, but then maybe Kaneki would spare him, and perhaps he would just tell him join him instead. Because I feel like it's bound to happen someday that Udi and the other Q squad are going to join the goats. That's how I see it. It just right now it's building up in a way. Well, I mean, not joining them, but it's building up that they're going to leave CCG, because right now they're in the worst shape of all. They're in a terrible, terrible shape. Furuta being a leader, obviously already got a big doubts on his position. So it's like I can see a lot of them just go, I quit, and they would just send off somewhere else, and or just go with GOAT.
hmm Like, yeah, like even the last chapter kind of hinted at that too, because again, there's like a lot of doubt and suspicions going on both Psycho and Udi's end. And that
Mhm.
kind of just gets me going. Like, okay, so my best bet is it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of like how long is it gonna take for us to get there.
Right.
And then I'm trying to remember, did anything else happen in the last chapter, or was that it? Because we covered the Token Kaneki stuff. We covered
Akira.
Yeah, we covered Akira stuff, and we covered Mutsuki's.
Yeah.
So I think that's everything regarding the chapter in and of itself.
Well, actually, you're revisiting out the Furuta, Kanu, and Udi's
Oh
situation.
yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's the only thing we missed. That portion, when I saw that, I was like, "Whoa!" Why? I couldn't believe that. That well, I can't really say that I couldn't believe, but it just surprised me that they were gonna pull that. I'm like, huh? Oh my god, they're actually gonna do it. I'm quite kind of curious seeing how it's gonna happen. Now the fact that they brought Kano in, I'm like, I'm like, this guy. He's been the biggest thing that the series has gone for since the first chapter, and now it's like, yeah.
I just hate how he so casually smile. I just hate that freaking smile.
hmm
Anytime I see that, I'm like, oh god, I want to punch the screen. Like, I was so close. I was so close to do something to the screen, and it would have cost me another 600. I don't care. I'll just do it just because I just see that bastard. I just God, I hate that guy. Like, if he's going to die, of course he has to die. When he dies, it has to be like the most brutal way of death of all time. It has to top.
It has to.
It has to top the Berserk chain of death moment scene. It has to top every death scene that you could name. Any series that you have read, any series that has been made, any gruesome, gory, I don't even know. Like every horror film, gore fest movies, it has to top every single one of them. It just has to. It has to. And I don't want no Kano being the innocent, sympathetic, whatever. I don't want him to end up being like brain controlled by some character all this time. I don't want that. If that happens, I'll probably live record myself just selling the books, selling the stuff I have. Because that's the last thing I need. Because Kanu is genuinely insane, evil, and just one of the characters you really wish to see to die so badly.
Yeah, like don't make it like, oh, like he's about to, he's like, no, I did this because human. Like if that happened, I'm gonna be like, well, Tokugo was fun, but you're going to the pile. I'm sorry.
No. I was gonna say if he ends up doing the Orochimaru, I'll probably burn the books instead. I don't do that, but I like to imagine. Just imagine me burning the books. Because I know somebody burned their books way back when. I forgot what chapter. It has to do with Muski. I don't understand what was that about, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, that chapter. Yeah, I forgot that.
Just imagine me being that person and just burn all the volumes instead. All the volumes and what else I have? And the calendar. I would just burn the entire calendar. Just imagine me doing all that, and there you go.
It's like all the Tokugo collection, and it's like, because of this one moment. Bye.
God. But yeah.
He's not gonna do that though.
No. If he does that, I'll be very surprised, honestly. Okay. I'll be surprised and very, very disappointed. I'll probably pull what that person did in the Twitter. Actually, no, I won't.
That's the last thing anybody needs to do at this point.
Yeah.
So we had that bit in the chapter, and I guess now we can kind of talk about like what our thoughts are going to be like on this upcoming arc. And Ishida, as we all know, likes to parallel a lot of things to the original Tokugo. Like the Coachella arc, I always like kind of like to. I don't know if I can say that mirrors Aogiri Tree, but when I read that arc, because maybe I'm just saying that because like you have like the big Toka and Kaneki reunion scene, and then you have the big Toka and Kaneki reunion scene in the Aogiri Tree arc. So maybe it's because of that. Although I guess you can kind of align that more so with the Rose arc, because that's when he leaves his persona of Hyde and then goes straight back into Kaneki mode, just a little more savage than he is. But I like to think that arc kind of mirrored the Aogiri Tree arc. I mean, you could even add like that arc kind of does mirror like the following arc afterwards. But what's your thoughts on that, Sparta?
Which arc are you talking about again?
Mirroring Coachella to
mirror that arc.
Yeah. I don't know, because I've seen a debate going on with certain people thinking that the Coachella arc mirrors Aogiri, and then some people thinking that like the Rose arc, the one with Tsukiyama, is the arc that mirrors Aogiri. Because
I mean the closest I can see mirror is the Ateku arc, honestly. Because here's the thing, I don't know who's attacking who. Like obviously right now CCG is on a killing spree. That's the focus. But who's going to be the target? Is it going to be like Kaneki? Oh, okay, he's gone too far. Everybody, it's time to end CCG. Or is it going to be like, all right, it looks like Muski has helped us to find the location where all the goose is hanging out. That little cafe. Oh, everybody, target there and end them once and for all. You know, like who's going to pull the first move? That's my main question right now.
Yeah, that's kind of been my thing too. And if I remember correctly, was it the CCG that pulled the card in the final arc of the original, or was that Untaker Raid? I'm trying to remember at the top of my head if it was them.
It was CCG. Once they went to the cafe, they realized the they realized what's up in there. The whole this is run by ghouls and stuff like that. And then that's where Yoshimoto tell everybody to leave. The youngster Toka Nishiki, everybody stay home, don't ever come. And then that leaves the other staff to do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the case. Basically, CCG knew about it, so they got ready. It was like getting all ready to. They realized they find the one eye ghoul, the one eye owl. That's what they assume. Obviously he's not the original. He's not the one that started the mess. It was Eto. But point is, that's what they believe, and that's where you have to fight your will before we about to go to this mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the case.
Yeah, and that's kind of something I've been wondering too, because the last arc, like the last arc that we were in, really mirrors the arc in Tokyo Ghoul where you had, because it's funny because both arcs kind of involved labs in a way, because the one in the original involved Kano and Rize, and then this one, I mean, it's not really the same thing, but it involved like the RC repressor. So it was like they were both tackling something for a certain objective, and you can mirror that pretty well, like with what was going on. So to say the very least, if this next arc mirrors the Ontaku Raid arc, which is the final arc in the original series, and again, because Ishida likes to parallel a lot of things, could this next arc be the final arc in the series? And if Ishida ends it off, like, say it's Volume 14, let's just say Volume 14 is the last arc in Tokyo Ghoul Re, just like how Volume 14 is the last arc in the original Tokyo Ghoul, then that would mean, and judging by what chapter we're on, that would mean that we have, at the very least, like 24, 25 chapters left, if I remember correctly.
That's possible. I mean, he could go a little above, which is funny because one person at Tumblr, I believe, he was joking around. Obviously, that person was joking around. It's like, oh man, Ishida, you messed up your writing. See, this whole parallel talk between Tokas and Kanaki happened a chapter later. You should have done it earlier. You messed up, Ishida. I am disappointed, which is true because the last one it happened in 120, not 121.
That's true.
So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much, but the point is, I do think he's going to end not the exact same number, but he is going to end around there, like a little above, just a little above, because this time there's a lot of character that we know being involved rather than the character that we know from the Ghoul side with a very little of CCG. But now we know both of their side, so we're going to be taking more time with them.
Mm-hmm. And I guess that kind of raised the question. So who's going to be the one that strikes you first? Because last time it was CCG. Do you think it's possible that it could be the characters in the reshop that attack first?
You know, that I think I would like to see that happening instead, because it'd be like the opposite, and it'd be like the polar opposite between the last series and this one. Mm-hmm. And it will work. It works things out. I'm not sure what's the excuse to go there, because they only went there for the lab, but they could go there for the entire building itself. I mean, it could happen that way. I'm just trying to find a reason why would they do that. Yeah. But then again, it's like Furuta opened the door for any way for Kanaki to try to strike back in a way to expose his lies. But again, is this a trap, or is this something else or is this actually easy as we think? Like, oh, look at that, I'm still alive. See, he's a liar, and that's it. It's like, it would be weird. It would be strange if that was the case, because Furuta is just so strange. He's like, you can't read him. He's very random, but that's what makes it harder to guess.
Exactly. Like that's exactly how I felt, because anytime like Furuta's on screen, like, he's an interesting character, but at the same time, it's hard to predict what he's gonna do, because he's gonna do something that's like, what the hell, like the chapter when he got promoted to oh my god, what was it? Like you know what I'm talking about? Like when he wore the party glasses and then
Yeah.
the fake
Yeah.
mustache. Like when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's actually kind of amusing.
Yeah, that was funny. I was like, "Oh my god, this guy." That was like the big flag of saying like, "Yep, yeah, yeah, really messed up. Yeah, yeah, put him in the position. Too late now."
And now you guys are gonna be screwed.
Yeah. So the next chapter, he changes way, but he's obviously still messing around with everyone. But he's trying to make everybody still be on his same level. Like, hey, everybody, look, I bring you Kanaki, and he is dead because we are going to exterminate. He's always persuasive, but he's really still messing around.
Yeah, I think you could say that the CCG could strike again, but I know I feel like there's just something there. Like if you have like the characters from Re striking back this time instead of it being like the CCG again, but it's like you said, like what would be their reason in striking them first?
Well, CCG have a reason already, but they just need a location.
Yeah,
Like if Buski does go to Re and then like I don't know, take down Toka somehow or come back alive or somewhat. I'm not sure how that's gonna work out, but I could imagine that's like okay, Buski went there and he pretty much helped them to find a location. So everybody gear up. We're going to take them out once and for all. That's how I could see, but it's only a matter of who's going to strike who first.
exactly. I mean, again, like the arc itself hasn't like really fully like set off yet, so right now it can go either way.
It's built it up, that's for sure. It hasn't
Mhm.
set up. It hasn't started. It hasn't shown what we're going to do next, what we're going to follow next. But we are setting up a lot of things, a lot of crazy things.
We are, and I guess that puts us to our next segment. Who do you think is gonna kick the bucket in this particular arc? Now we already speculated that Akira has a possibility, but who else do you see like not making it out of this arc? Because I've seen certain people think that Ayato could be the next one. Me,
Who?
like Ayato.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, that would suck, but yeah.
Certainly would. I mean, because I think what's interesting about Ayato this time around, I mean, yeah, you've got the whole connection between him and Hinami, and oh, I don't know. I feel like we got to see what Ayato does first before we speculate on like things that are going on with him. But the characters I can see right now, like with the chapters we're at, Yoriko's fiance, I feel like has the biggest death flag out of everybody so far.
Yeah. If he survived this, then I don't think his flag is no longer there.
Yeah,
If he survived this, his flag has disappeared. I mean, he could still die, but the highest chance of all would just fade away if he survived.
if he
So
survives, yeah.
yeah. Honestly, if I were to think who's going to die, it depends who's going to be in this arc. Um
We know Mutsuki's going to be involved, so
yeah. Yeah.
I want to say Mutsuki might have a chance of dying too.
It really depends. Like I still see like she does have out of all the Q squad, she has the highest chance. I
Mhm.
think. I feel like the other person that's going to die might be Aura because that's what might cause trouble for Muski. Because right now she's influencing him further, and that's just like, oh shit, you're gonna lead to his death. His aunt is gonna be pissed off. They probably punish her to death, like an execution. I can see a lot of commotion, craziness happen. Depends where Udi still stand by her or not, which I do think he still cares because he's this. She's a member. She's a family. It's just that they don't know how much messed up she's in right now.
No,
Because
she doesn't.
yeah, nobody knows. I mean, they know, but nobody knows how far she's that how deep she's in. Only Aura knows. But the problem is he doesn't care because he sees her like an inspiration to kill Kanaki. They working together now. So they're like keeping things only together.
Yeah, like keeping things like in the dark from everybody
Exactly.
else.
Which is horrible because that only makes it much worse in the long run. And obviously we're gonna see how that's going to play out in a upcoming chapter, if not the next chapter.
Yeah.
But yeah, like she has the highest, but will she die? I still can't say with guarantee. She just have the highest out of the team.
Out of the team, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Takizawa might die.
You think so?
It's possible. Like, I feel like he'd probably do one last role of being the knife for them. Maybe remember how we say Akira might die? Maybe he would take the bullet and this would be his final send off for her and Almond.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that was done. It's not much. I mean, it's possible. I mean, like he still has the chain. He still has the chain, and I can see him give him back after the whole thing is over.
Hmm.
Which will be sad because but the thing is, it's just like I know Karaki want him to get some have something to live for, which it would be nice, but it depends. He could still end up dying. So I don't know.
I mean, the thing I could see is, like, what if he takes the bullet for, like, what if like Akira's about to gun and then Takizawa is the one that steps in and takes the bullet instead and dies for both Amon and Akira.
But yeah, that's how I see it. That's what I'm saying. Like he probably is slowly dies. He given the chain back to Amon, and he does die there, and it would be sad. But if it happens, well, Ishida.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who else you got in mind?
I know some people are thinking Udi, but well, with how the story is currently, I don't see. I don't know. Like, it's weird because Tokugo is one of those series like where anybody can die, but I feel like with the way how the arc's been, like, especially like with the way how Rei's been going, I feel like Udi's just gonna be like one of those characters that, like, I don't want to say he's like buddy with Kaneki, but he's definitely someone that'll like keep in touch with them about like all the shit that's happening, especially like with everything that's going on in CCG at the moment, since Furuta is in full reins of everything.
Yeah. No, I don't think he was gonna die. I mean, like he could still die, but the chance is low, very low. Next to Psycho, I'll be surprised she dies. I'll be like, wow, this is the cruelest thing I ever seen. No, but I think he's safe. It's just a matter of what direction he's gonna go from this point forward.
I think the crazy
Suzuka,
thing would be. Oh, sorry.
no, huh?
Okay, I was gonna say like I think the craziest thing is like, what if he witnesses like what's going on with Mutsuki, like if and whenever she does run into Toka, and he notices how insane she's gone. And I don't want to say Uri could do this, but what if he's the one that eliminates her?
Who's gonna eliminate her?
Uri, like, kind of like putting her out of her misery.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a little bit more tragic because, like, not only was she on the team, but to see how far she's gone and how she's kind of like, I don't want to say like irredeemable, but certainly to a point where, like, I don't think there's any way you can scavenge a, like, I'm trying to find the right word, but save her, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense, and that's actually likely. I mean, not the highest likely, but that's a good possibility. And I didn't even think of that, but that is sad. It's tragedy. It could happen. Do I want it to happen? Not really.
No.
Not really. I mean, like it depends. It depends what happens after a couple of chapters later. It's hard to say.
I mean, I think like if that's how her death is played out, and like you have Kaneki there too, like, I don't know, like, could you say it would be like on the same level as Shira's death, or do you think it'd be a little bit higher? If, let's say, that if her death plays out like that.
It would be more tragedy because the Shirazu it plays more tragedy like some Shakespeare style.
Mhm.
Because Shirazu is like a more of a tragic death, which is just a sad occurrence because he just fought a very high level ghoul and then he's paid a huge sacrifice. It's like a sacrifice happen and ends in tragedy. This one is not a sacrifice. It's just a misery, put out of a misery tragedy. It'd be like one of those stories you see, like, oh, I'm in for revenge, and after I did my revenge, I got nothing to live for. So kill me right here.
Yeah, that would be pretty depressing. Like, if Ishida does go down that route, which wouldn't really surprise me, but again, like that would be pretty deep if it went down that approach.
Yeah. Damn. I didn't even think of that. I should have thought of that.
Yeah, something that just like ran through my mind. I'm like, well, if it went down that way, yeah, I could see it.
Would like Kano to die this one.
I mean, it depends on like which characters are used this arc too. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, of course.
But I feel like with what's set up like at this point, Udi, Psycho, Mutsuki, Yoriko's husband again. Like I'm sure someone's gonna mention in the comments like this is his name. They're probably like this thing. I'm like, okay, thanks, but
I've been saying his name for many times and now I forgot. It's like, damn, it escaped my head just now. What the hell happened?
Yeah, but they've got the biggest. But like Mutsuki's got death flag, but Yoriko's fiance, like we've been mentioning, has like the biggest one at the moment. If he survives Sark, no death flag. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Oh, there you go. Takeomi. It's something like that. Takeomi? Yes, I think that's how you pronounce it. I remember it now. Okay. I try not to get confused with his father because his father was in well, actually he got back to CCG. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did.
Maybe he would die.
That could happen too.
Like, yo, you gotta go, you gotta marry and give me grandkids, so do not die. I'll die for you. I don't think it'll play off that comedy, but yeah.
What about Suzuya?
Suzuya? I don't think he's gonna die.
No.
I think maybe some of his squad member would die, which would suck because I actually liked them.
Yeah.
I don't think the guy that has his novel would die because he feels like he's getting a push that I'm realizing more and more as I see him.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy got a novel. How? And now after this chapter, yeah, whoever gets a novel, you'd be okay for now.
That's how kind of I've been thinking too, because I mean, you know what? Like, I know the light novels, like you have like the short stories, well, like with Kaneki, Hinami, Toga, but I don't really know if that guarantees that they're gonna survive.
I wouldn't say guarantees to survive, but the treatment of your character is more higher than the other character that you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I like your character. If I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna give you like a good chapter of your farewell scene. So here you go. I do not like your character. I do not like you. I mean, I've only written you just to die, so you only get 3 panels tops. There you go. You're dead.
I'm trying to think who else could have a possibility of dying on this arc.
Maybe the entire Naki family except Naki.
That would be sad.
That would be sad, especially how Naki treats his family and friends, which I really like. And to see him, that you know what's the sad thing? It could happen because, and it was done by ironically. And the funny thing is, you know, we was talking before we started recording this, but it's funny because this one person seems like he's about to have the greatest call it of his career, of his life. Because again, it goes back to that whole picture that Ishida put it in Twitter of Haru. And I'm thinking like, and this person said like, I'll bet you, I was like, here, I'm gonna call them right now. She will be revived and she will have the Kagane from the 2 brothers that died. The one that
that's right.
She's gonna have both. She's gonna have both of them, and with the Nora experience, boom, she's gonna be godlike. But he didn't say that part, but he said that the whole Kagane one, and that could happen. And if that happens, I can see her killing everybody that's not Naki.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I see it, it'd be like holy, it's like, who the hell is that? And it's like, and then I can see the family be like, that Kagane seems like one of our family style. How the hell she has that? And then, you know, you see Naki's like, huh? That's not even possible. I don't remember her in the family. And maybe, just maybe, she probably put 2 and 2 together by remembering what Kanu told him, that he will help his brother to revive them. So he say. But obviously that's a bullshit. He already made them into weapons, just waiting for somebody to be the experiment to get the Kagane. And that's where he probably find out that Kanu just betrayed him, and you could kind of say this is his fault.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then I can see Naki being very dramatized to see the old man has lied to him, and then you see everybody in his family getting killed.
Yeah. Do you like in that kind of get? Yeah, I'm wondering about that too, and I wonder if Nagi's family, like if the fact that they end up killing, will that cause a rift in Goat itself? That's kind of the question that I'm wondering itself, because Kaneki is right now he's being represented as the One-Eyed King, and
Right.
I wonder like with Nagi's character, like if he's gonna go a certain direction and go like, you're supposed to be the One-Eyed King. My family is dead. Where were you? I mean, I don't know if it would go that approach, but
It could. It depends. I feel like Ishida was being careful by not by not having Akira be included. But then again, Akira only dealt with the realms with Hinami, Toka, Aomon, and Kanaka himself. So that's fine. Say if I say Ishida. Say if Kaneki were to recruit other people that the other family knows, then that could cause a rift, a huge
probably.
rift. Because like right now, what they brought in together, they understanding each other. They understand what they have to do. He's a One-Eyed King. Fine, whatever. If we're gonna try to achieve this peace, then let's join you, whatever. But if Kaneki's trying to play too much of a mercy and try to have too many people coming to his side, even if the bad history, then I can see a rift coming through.
Yeah, and obviously that's not going to be a good sign for Kaneki's group in and of itself. I mean, sure, like Hinami, Toga, Ayato, like they're all going to stay, but like as far as like the people that are with him, like that's gonna. I don't know if that would be that'd be similar to like what happened in the original Tokyo Ghoul, because I remember I forget who, but they did disband at a certain point, but then they got back together. So I kind of wonder if it would be kind of similar to that, if it went that approach.
Yes. Well, all I know is that I feel like whatever the next arc is, we're gonna see a lot of because right now, because even though they're getting prepared, whatever, even though CG is getting prepared to balance themselves out, which I don't think the V organization won't show up for another time, because they had to show up the last time, since CCG was at their low point, but now they're getting firepower back up with old guys, and yeah, so I feel like because of all this, they have to start lowering the character count. Not have to, but they most likely this arc will result to that. So you could probably, in order to have Goat to be not as godly as we see right now, because they're really stacked up.
They totally are.
They're stacked up, but now you have Kanu in the CCG, because it's gonna be a different story. And then supposedly whatever they're about to do with Haru, it sounds like it's gonna be a really broken character.
Exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, because I mean, it makes it worse because she's from the garden, so it's like, oh fuck.
Like we're about to go in this direction now.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's to be the works mix. And we already saw Noru, the first Noru ever. We already saw how capable he is. That guy felt very unstoppable. It was scary. I remember reading that arc. Well, I still remember reading the entire chapter when they had to fight Noru, and he was just dominating everybody. Even if they cut him into the smallest pieces, that small piece ends up being like a massive, like a self-destruct, and they kill like that guy into obliteration. Like you gotta start searching every It's like his body became 1,000 piece of puzzles. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it became like a giant landmine, and like it's like whoever was involved, it's like you're not gonna make it out of this.
Exactly. So yeah. So I couldn't imagine how that one character could just do a lot of takedowns. So I'm seeing myself like Goat is going to lose a lot of numbers. CCG is perhaps just going to fold by the end of the arc, but we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. Going from that, I guess we could talk about like other characters that haven't been introduced in a while. Could they possibly get involved? And one of the characters that's like really been on my mind for a while is Scarecrow.
I feel like either he's gonna show up in the middle of the arc, or he's going to be the last chapter of his reveal. I feel like the last chapter will reveal him of the
Mhm.
last chapter of the series, and then be like, and then a lot of people will be like, "Oh my god, I want that part 3. We gotta wait like 4 months." I
If
feel
that
like
does
that might
happen,
happen, huh?
I said if that does happen, who do you think Scarecrow is? Because I know that's another discussion people are having, and me personally, like, because given the character and seeing like the way he talks, because he doesn't talk normally, like we know that much, and he's got a scar like underneath his throat, and I've kind of been wondering, could he be Hide? Because that's been the biggest thing I've been wondering, because we know when in the original Tokyo when Kaneki and Hide had their last interaction, because again we don't know what's going on with Hide, but Kaneki woke up and he had like blood in his mouth. Now that doesn't automatically guarantee that Hide's dead, but that kind of makes you wonder if Scarecrow is Hide, then did Kaneki like mess up his voice box to the point where Hide can't even talk properly, and maybe it even got to the point where Kaneki fucked up Hide's face. I don't know.
Yes.
Like, what's your thoughts on it as far as Scarecrow's identities go?
I feel like his face is probably messed up. I do think it's Heathen too. I do think it's him. I just think his up and his head piece is really not the same as what we know. I think there's a lot of evidence that it has to be him because now we know that he doesn't do any of Ghoul's attack, so he's not a real Ghoul. He does a
No,
lot of more of CCG fighting, but basically it's just a normal grenade and all that stuff, tactical style. And we know Heaton is actually a clever guy that sneaks away with like putting in like a not a mind trap, but one of those seeking device on the ghouls. So it's like, oh yeah, see, I help you guys out, and then that's how I feel. Like there's so many evidence that points that direction. Now the idea is the more question the more bigger question in my book is that exactly what happened, exactly how much damage he's in now. Like again, the talking part does seem like does
that's
seem
the
like
biggest indication right now too. Is like just the way he talked. Like when he tried to call it Almond, he was like, "Oh, come on." I'm like, "Huh."
yeah, it's like something. It's like did he bit him around in the neck region or something?
That's kind of what it's hinting at. Because again, like, because he's got the scar like near the throat area, so that's kind of another big indication.
Yeah, another indication, which I kind of missed it, but in a way it makes sense too, is where like it's the scarecrow face design. It
Mhm.
does reminisce to chapter 1, like because he didn't is a terrible drawer, he's a terrible artist.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, he's a terrible artist, and when you look at Scarecrow, it does look kind of really like a
He does
crappy
look like
art.
a little kid's drawing. Right.
Exactly. So it feels like that is the big hint too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the other thing is like it's not like Scarecrow has been like a villain because so far like I think have we seen him 2 times or 3 times? I can't remember exactly off the top of my head because
Three
I know he
times.
showed up at the auction raid arc and he did help out Sasuke. Like Sasuke wasn't aware of it, but he did help him out. And then again, like in the last arc, through the flashback, he helped out Amon. So that's another big indication for me where I'm like, knows Kaneki. So I kind of wonder if that's where it's all pointing to. Like that would make a lot of sense if it does end up being Hide.
Yeah, see that. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking too. I'm not sure what the second time we seen him indicates anything. The part where you should see him rowing the boat and just leave.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure what that indicates for something. Actually, wait a minute. No, no, no. Let me
good.
see. No, no, no. Never mind. Almon's already left at that time. Right before
Yeah,
that time. So he probably was doing something, but I don't know. I don't think it's. I don't know. I think we missed it, or this. We probably get more on that later.
probably.
Yeah, maybe he went. Maybe he knows something about Kanu because the lab was there. Maybe he did some detective work. I don't know.
Mhm. Because I remember, like when we see him again, like he's just sitting down, like cross legs, everything, and he just like makes the guards like pass out just for a moment to keep it like, it's like yeah, now your feet like what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scarecrow he's an interesting character, but as to like I said, like I think he's Hide, but and if he is actually Hide, I wonder how Kaneki's gonna take that. Because I feel like if it is Hide, like they gotta have a big reunion.
Oh yeah, I think that's one of the bigger reunion that we're probably waiting for right now.
Mhm. It's just a matter of like what would happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some people are speculating that he could be like the final villain, but I don't know. With the way how it's been going, again, I don't see Scarecrow being a villain at all.
That seems weird. Like, why would you do all that to become a villain or to be
Yeah,
the villain?
I mean, we don't really know Scarecrow's true motives at the moment, but like with the way how he's been showcased throughout Tokyo Ghoul in general, I don't know. It doesn't point to that particular plot point for
No.
me, at least.
You know how like the last series has like a plot twist by the end, by before the end.
Hmm.
Like obviously the plot twist was the whole period was always there, and Uta is among them, which that really, yeah, it's funny because it was only clued in like twice, I think. The first one is way back with the whole mask, and one of them was a period mask, and I should have thought of that, but nope.
You're right.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't remember that, but when I went back, I was like, oh, damn, all this time. So yeah, there was very small hints right there. But yeah, back to Re. Maybe there might be a plot twist. I have a feeling it has to do with the third wheel, whatever they call. What was it called again? Great Wheel. The Great Wheel. Yeah, I
Hmm.
think it's Great Wheel. I have a feeling it has to do a plot twist with them because the one major question mark has to be with him saying like with the leader saying that he only gives the business card to the people he trusts the most. Why Nico has it?
That's a good question. Why
Why
doesn't
the
he
hell
have
he has it? That part bothers me, and I'm not sure where that going, but yeah, I don't like it.
it?
I mean, sure, they save Akira, fine, but there is
It's
what
a
else
matter of
there's
like,
to
yeah,
it?
like what else is there to do?
Yeah, and I'm still wondering what the heck is Kimi doing all this.
How long has it been since we've seen her?
Since that, I guess a small plot twist that we just saw. That was the last time we saw her. And then she only got mentioned later on. It's weird because like it's dropping hints it's dropping hint that Nishiki has a fallout with her. I'm not sure.
I can't remember if that happened too, because I know like because they were like the biggest thing that was going on in the original series, and
Exactly. And then just to hear something like this, and then like how he tried to brush off that story is like it's strange. Like what
I feel
happened?
like there's more to that story than what we're led to believe.
Yeah, I don't get
Yeah,
it.
that's another weird thing that's been going on in the series. It's like because that's gonna get addressed at some point.
Maybe in the next arc, maybe
Maybe.
because Kanu's here, so maybe enter her too. I don't know.
With the fact that Kanu's here, what do you think is the chances of us getting Rize again?
Is her quote father end quote alive, or is he held in prison?
Rize?
Huh? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, wait, Yoshimura?
Yeah, no, not him. Well, I don't even know what happened to him.
Let me check actually, because I know because he didn't die at the end of Tokyo Ghoul, as far as I remember.
No, but I'm surprised they haven't retrieved anything of him.
Yeah, you're right, because we're like 121 chapters in, and it's like, what's like, is he still? Let me check back real quick. I'm checking the wiki. Rosark. Okay, yeah, he's still in the container, so he's been there the whole time.
All right, but I have a feeling if they ever free him, he's gonna be like Rize, like out of control monster because obviously he never fed, so that's like too dangerous.
You know, I think that could happen. Like, I feel like maybe like since I feel like they could probably bring him in this arc too.
Think so?
Maybe because I don't know, like, could you imagine like how like everybody at the shop would feel just like seeing him in like the state that he's in, like especially with Toka.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just well. They probably still have him somewhere. Maybe Kano brought him along. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, because the fact that they brought Kano in, I'm like, well, because I don't know, like, I feel like whenever Kano gets involved, like Rize's involved too in a way. I mean, that's not always the case because that hasn't happened a lot with Enri, but I don't know. Because I feel like we haven't known what's happened with Rize in a while, and I think maybe having her in this arc, like, it doesn't have to be like a big role, but maybe like a small like panel or whatnot. I think that'd be cool. Just to see like like what she's been up to and stuff.
Well, isn't she captured right now still?
I'm trying to think because the last thing I remember her doing was didn't Yomo have her?
Yeah, but I think the guy, I'm trying to remember his name.
Because I know like when he and Kaneki and Rize had the reunion, like she was
Shachi. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that was the one I was asking you. Like, is he alive or is he being held somewhere? Because I know Arima was the one that went after him.
Hmm?
And actually Rize is being held captive right now. What's his name? Furita has her.
He's alive. Okay, as for right now, his whereabouts in the manga are unknown. So we don't.
Okay.
So we don't exactly know what's going on with them.
Right. Well, going back to Rize, again, she's being held. So maybe if they finally get her out, and this time for sure, before probably V organization will realize, oh, we have her, let's take her back, because she is still important to the V squad, to the V guys. So I don't know. We'll see how that plays.
It's a matter of what exactly happens in this arc.
Yep.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we missed. Let's see. We talked about the chapter. We talked about the big thing that was going on Twitter with Ishida.
What I know is that on Thursday I'll post something to Ishida, because that way I'll be like, okay, I read your chapter, and I could actually read a chapter with the actual magazine since I know a bookstore that sells them. So I'm not a total liar.
No, you aren't.
But yeah, like, you gotta remember, the chapter is not supposed to be the chapter that we get online is not the official release.
No, it isn't.
Unless we talk about the actual official publisher. But if you get it from like a fan site, they're not official release. There are scanlation, fan translation, whatever. So you got to hold on to your comment. And if your comment is going to be the one that happened to that person, try to not to go there. Just, I don't know. Don't even comment or say in a more polite manner to the point that it's like, oh, you won't get blocked at all. So try to do that at least.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing I can say is write out the comment, reread it over, and then think about would this be the best option right now?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of what I would do.
Would have been the right thing to do.
But people have their own opinions, I guess.
Yeah.
It
is what it is.
It is. So, I guess with that, I don't think there's anything else we can discuss about with Tokyo Ghoul at the moment. But I will say, this was a pretty fun discussion to do. I mean, for our first podcast. So, I guess what I can say from this point on, guys, is that is the Tokyo Ghoul podcast. It was a lot of fun doing this for the first time. It was great having you on board, Sparta.
Man, thank you for actually inviting me. I'm really happy to be in the first ever podcast for Tokyo Ghoul. I really like to talk more about the series, even in my channel. Just, it's a lot of time to work on, and I wouldn't say waste, but I don't want to take too much time. And, with me, with life going around, it's like it has to cut things short. But when it's so when you have free time, it's like you have a lot of liberty to talk about so many things that you actually wanted to discuss, and it makes it much fun when you have your friends or anyone else to discuss with the same opinion, different opinions. It's more alive. It just feels great to even discuss the series that I always like to discuss more detail. So yeah, I'm really happy that you invited me here for the very first time, and hopefully it won't be the last time.
Oh no, it certainly won't be the last time. I mean, in fact, like, you know, it's like me I don't want to say this will become like an occurring thing, but like, we'll probably do one of these again. Like maybe like towards like when we get like near the end of the arc or something. But maybe like once like a big moment occurs again, like we'll probably talk about like what's going on and kind of just give our thoughts on it again, like how things are probably proceeding. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm Lucky Cheese 7.
SPARDA3g. Hopefully next time my voice would be better because I'm still a little cracking, but it happens. It's springtime. Sorry.
Springtime Eve. I can't believe I just made that. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.